about it, you have what you really want. If you really want it. Yes, you can have that if you really want it. It's already in your bag cause you really want it. Think about it, you have what you really want. If you really want it, really want it. Your thoughts create what you have even if you didn't want it. Concentrate on the bad, then that's what you really want it. Focus on it, you'll have what you really want. If you really want it, really want it. I believe in attraction, bring into my life what I attracted. If I do not want it, I do the math and subtract it. From my thoughts, I don't think about things I don't want, cause you get what you think. A lesson I had to learn from getting what I don't want. Hearing lectures from my spirit is coming through as my thoughts. You should really pay attention because it is worth the cost. The concept is not a long shot, really more like a toss. This reality is flexible, bend into what you want. And your thoughts are the currency, spend it on what you want. You get to keep all the change and change your life with a thought. If that's what you really want, then think about what you want. Don't think about the obstacles cause you could jump across. I understand that the pressure is something you can't avoid, and that monkey on your back is riding you like a horse. Just think about what you want, what you really want. Yes, you can have that if you really want. It's already in your bag cause you really want it. Think about it, you have what you really want. If you really want it, really want it. Your thoughts create what you have even if you didn't want it. Concentrate on the bad, then that's what you really want it. Focus on it, you'll have what you really want. If you really want it, really want it. Easier said than done though, I know it ain't that simple, but practice makes perfect. Just get in the gym mode, meditate, elevate to see where you wanna go. You may not use it now, take it down as a mental note. I promise that it won't hurt, it could only help. Training your thoughts, you can do it all by yourself. Life's a one-player game, you playing all by yourself. And if your thoughts become reality, you created this for yourself. Imagine how you can excel, don't give it a try, you can't not fail. Taking your shot, just put the nail in the coffin. Now paying attention to your thoughts makes you a prophet. And you getting everything you want because you thought it. Feels like magic when things happen like you thought it. Nobody hates when miracles happen to them too often. You call it a blessing, I say it's what you really wanted. You can have anything if you really want it. Yes, you can have that if you really want it. It's already in your bag cause you really want it. Think about it, you have what you really want. If you really want it, really want it. Your thoughts create what you have even if you didn't want it. Concentrate on the bad, then that's what you really want it. Focus on it, you'll have what you really want. If you really want it, really want it. Yes, you can have that if you really want it. It's already in your bag cause you really want it. Think about it, you'll have what you really want. If you really want it, really want it. Your thoughts create what you have even if you didn't want it. Concentrate on the bad, then that's what you really want it. Focus on it, you'll have what you really want. If you really want it, really want it.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. It's good to be up in here with y'all today. Woo! That was nice, right? And I need somebody to shut the door for me. So, on Tech Tuesday here today, y'all see we started it off a little bit differently. You know, got a little bit of music. They are going to give me a copyright strike for that. Shut the door. Hey, guys. Someone shut the door. But yeah, like I said, they are going to give me a copyright strike for that. Watch, Ella about to come walking through the door in 3, 2, 1 and leave it open.
Yo, that was perfect timing. Yo.
Go help your sister.
Do what?
Nana is talking to you. Go help your sister. Just put the tablet down and go help her.
Do what?
Just go. Shut the door. And I knew it. I said it. And the door is wide open still. But anyway, let me go ahead and get y'all motivation. My mouse is acting crazy every time I move it over here. So I'm going to just motivation for wisdom. I hope y'all hear me say y'all left the door open still. Ooh, this is going to be good.
So you're already using ChatGPT, and while that's awesome, there is one little problem. You're not.
Watch this every day and change your life. Most people wait for life to change. They wait for the job, the person, the breakthrough. But life doesn't change because you wait. It changes when you change. And change doesn't happen in one loud moment. It happens quietly every day through repetition, through awareness, through choice. Watch this once and it will inspire you. Watch this every day and it will rewire you. Because the truth is simple, the world around you cannot transform until you do. Every morning you wake up with one quiet but critical decision. Repeat your past or rise into your future. That moment before the world rushes in, before you scroll, before you speak is not ordinary. It's sacred. It's the clean slate that most people treat like it's nothing. They wake up and instantly hand that moment over to the noise. They check messages before they check their breath. They scroll before they sit. They react before they reflect. And without realizing it, they're not living, they're reliving. They're not building, they're repeating. Every day looks like the last because they never stopped long enough to break the cycle. And so their habits become autopilot. Their thoughts become borrowed, and their life becomes a slow echo of everything they've already done. This is why most people stay stuck, not because they lack ambition, but because they lack a ritual. They wake up and hope something changes without ever changing the first hour that determines everything. But the truth is, the gap between discipline and destruction is razor thin. It's one choice, one breath, 1 hour. That's all it takes to shift momentum. 1 hour of alignment before the chaos can create the clarity that reroutes your entire direction. And that clarity compounds, slowly, silently, powerfully. Not in a dramatic explosion, but in the small, consistent wins that start to build trust between who you are now and who you know you can become. When you take that hour and dedicate it to yourself, not to ego, not to escape, but to alignment, you change the trajectory of your day. And when you change enough days, you change your life. You stop living in reaction and start living in creation. You stop following energy and start generating it. You stop giving your attention to the loudest voice in the room and start feeding it the voice you chose, the energy you chose, the direction you chose. That's where transformation begins, not in emotion, but in structure, in the repeatable decision to train your mind before the world tries to claim it. That's why this moment, this message, this breath cannot be a one-time spark. It must be a ritual, not when it's convenient, not when you feel motivated, daily, relentlessly, with reverence, because repetition is what builds identity, and identity is what shapes behavior. You don't rise by willpower, you rise by programming, by choosing what enters your mind when it's most open, when it's most impressionable. And that's always the morning, before the emails, before the noise, before the world begins asking for pieces of you. That's when you must train. That's when you must decide who you are and remind yourself until it becomes real. If you want to change your actions, don't start with behavior. Start with environment. Start with input. Start with what you consume when your defenses are down and your spirit is listening. Give it strength, give it purpose, give it silence, and then over time it will give you back a new identity. One that doesn't need to try harder because it no longer identifies with weakness. One that doesn't fear slipping because its standards have already shifted. If you want to change your future, change what you repeat, not what you dream about, not what you talk about, what you do. And what you do consistently becomes who you are. No matter how far off course you've been, no matter how many days you've wasted, you're always one morning away from reclaiming the path. But you must start now. You must protect the hour that builds your future self. Not someday, not when you feel ready. Now, the world will never stop demanding your attention. But if you give yourself to yourself first every day, you won't just keep up. You lead. You'll create. You'll rise. People often say, I want peace, I want confidence, I want focus. But these are not things you find by accident. They're not things someone can hand to you. They don't come through quotes, through luck, through a sudden shift in mood. They're not rewards that show up when the timing feels right. They are built, earned, trained like muscle. And like muscle, they only grow through resistance. Peace isn't something you stumble into, it's forged in silence. Not just outer silence, but inner silence. The kind of silence you protect, the kind you fight for, the kind you build boundaries around so you can hear your own breath again. You don't get peace by hoping for less chaos. You get peace by becoming the kind of person who isn't ruled by chaos. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It doesn't magically appear when life goes well. It's something you earn slowly, quietly, by keeping your promises to yourself. Every time you say, I will do this, and then you do it. You send a message to your subconscious. I am someone I can count on. That's where confidence is built. Not in applause, not in external validation, but in the small decisions you repeat when no one is watching. Confidence isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. Real confidence shows up in how you walk into a room without explanation, in how you respond instead of react, in how you lead, not with noise, but with certainty. That certainty comes from trust, and trust comes from consistency. Focus too is not gifted, it's trained. It's not about feeling motivated or having the perfect environment. It's about cutting the noise again and again, every day, until your mind finally starts to understand that you won't chase every distraction anymore, that you won't check every notification, that you won't let your attention be hijacked by people who don't value it. You train your mind like a dog. You teach it to sit, stay, return. And at first it resists, it runs wild, but over time it obeys, it begins to settle. And from that stillness, your work becomes deeper, your thoughts become clearer, your presence becomes undeniable. These are not talents, they are disciplines. And discipline doesn't show up when you feel good. It doesn't care about emotion. It shows up every day, in the repetition, in the structure. In the morning you didn't want to get up, but you did. In the evening you wanted to quit, but you pushed through. Discipline is not sexy, it's not glamorous, but it is powerful. Because when you build it, you begin to shape a life that's no longer at the mercy of your feelings. You must understand this truth. Every single day you are being programmed, either by the world or by yourself. There is no neutral state. There is no off.
Yes, sir.
Everything you consume, everything you listen to, everything you watch, everything you scroll past, it's writing code into your mind. It's shaping your thoughts. It's defining your focus. It's forming your self-worth. And if you do nothing, if you passively let the world write that code, the world wins. The win. The drama wins. The gossip wins. The noise becomes your soundtrack. And eventually, you don't even know where your desires came from. You don't even know what peace feels like, because your entire system has been built by what surrounds you.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. The best part of the show, right now, like this episode 250 something. Let me see. Episode 257. The best part of the show right now for me is the motivation. Like I can just sit back and I can just listen to that. And like he said, get the programming. Either you getting programmed by the world or you programming yourself. And at the start of each show, listening to this give me a nice little that my guy, you know what I'm saying? Every single time. So I don't know if I think maybe we started doing this at episode. Let me turn my light down. It's shining in my glasses. Hold on. I guess we started this at maybe episode 100 something. Let's say we did. It's been great. It's been great. So today, let me see what I had as the title today. What I said we was doing today.
Bro, what are y'all doing?
Ella, it ain't even that serious. It ain't that serious. Let it go. Dad is over here working, okay? Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyway, so today we becoming more tech savvy. Now, right now, I'm dealing with an issue that y'all can't see. So my mouse pointer, every time I slide it over, I'm usually be able to control all three of my little screens over here. You see what I'm saying? I can see every which one with just one mouse pointer. Well, now, today, everything is working. Let me pull my mic down. I feel like I'm screaming. Now, today, everything is working in reverse. I can only control these two screens with the mouse, but I can control all of the screens with this other one over here. So we just gonna keep working around that. Anyway, but I say that to say, when you run into these issues, it could be with your doorknob. I just tightened the doorknob. You see what I'm saying? It could be with your microphone. It could be with the mouse pointer. It could be anything. how tech savvy are you? How manageable is it for you to go ahead and knock that out and fix it back? Now, it is a thing to buy a new one. I ain't gonna lie to you. Buy a new one. We gonna buy a new one. Because some things, the components, you can't fix that. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of things can be fixed by, let's say, household parts. You could go in the drawer where you got that junk at, the junk drawer. You know what I'm saying? Or you could just straight up MacGyver it. I ain't never seen the show, but I got plans to watch it. I promise you. MacGyver is apparently that guy. Give me 2 rolls of duct tape, a box of paper clips, 3 nails, and a hammer. I'm gonna get this thing up and running for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're looking at today. Now, I do offer my office hours after my show to where on my Discord to where you can hop in here and you can get some good. Oh Lord, see, look at that. Something done went out. Something done started buzzing. Everything all at once. Where the buzz coming from? Jeez Louise. What did I do? Look at that. See? Can I fix this? Because I don't even know what just happened. Anyway, I do offer my office hours after my show from 10 o'clock to roughly about 10:45, 11 o'clock. I try to do 30 minutes if nobody get in. If nobody join up, I try to, get in there and get out. So I give about 30 minutes and then I'm gone. But I do that for the sake of offering people a resource, offering people a way. Now, I think down somewhere at like a Goodwill Center or a library, they probably got a person like me that's teaching old people, young people, whoever want to learn how to do this stuff. But you getting it here today from Expansion Pack. So, I don't have any specific questions from anybody or any specific nothing from nobody that would want to like chime in on a question. I ain't got like, what I'm saying is I don't have somebody that's like, oh, well, can you show me how to do this? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a bunch of things that I do. You see what I'm saying? Y'all going to do some of my homework with me, basically. All right. So to get the process started, I'm going to go ahead and access my Google. See, I still can't slide over there with this mouse. I'm going to go ahead and access. We're going to get some background music first and foremost. I'm going to access my Google Drive. And I'm going to show y'all some of the work that I do behind the scenes for Expansion Pack, for my Twitch channel and gaming, and give y'all a little sneak preview of the new stuff that we got coming up. So the reason I'm doing this, also I'm going to give y'all a sneak peek at my Canva, my the DGTA Canva. So I see a lot of people who they trying to get their foot in the door. They trying to get off the ground with a lot of things, and they just don't know where to go, how to do it, and what to do. Let me know in the chat if y'all having an issue with the background music, like it's too loud or anything. But I see a lot of people that's like that, and I'm here to tell you that if you contract my services, I'm gonna run a straight up commercial on y'all. This is a commercial right here. Look. Hey, so if you want to come over here to DGTA and get all of your animations and skin packs and overlays done, you need to contact me at nah. But that would be great, to have some contracted work from people, charge them. But that's not really my angle. I'm not gonna lie to you. My angle is a little bit different. My angle is to teach you how to fish, to be able to create a market now. So the market right now is dominated. It's dominated. You ain't getting in there. You see what I'm saying? But there is a way in. And the only way in is through knowledge and the information. All right, or to train yourself, so to speak. So what you're looking at now, check this out. You see that just flashed, that little transition? This is where I made it at. And so if I come in here, you'll see it and pop up. Boop, 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 boop. This is I created it at. And now I'm already giving you the resource of where to go to find or to do this same exact thing that I'm already doing. So part of it is Canva. I get on Canva and I can stylize and add words and do like animations and stuff like that all day. So it's not like I'm doing some magical process. Now remember, the reason why I'm showing you this is because I need you to know so that you can go and we can create a market together. The market is dominated. So unless you can actually do this yourself, you're gonna pay money to get this done. It's the difference between changing your oil yourself and getting your oil changed by someone constantly. Okay, now you don't make tires. Now, of course you don't make tires, but can you change your own tire? Is that a skill that would save you a considerable amount of money? Yes. All right. So now that's enough of that. So what I'm showing you now is my Canva, and these are all of the projects that I've worked on thus far just from Canva. You can, if you tuned into the ARC stream I just did at the top of the year for 30 days, this is the overlay that I used for it. Well, part of the overlay that I used. And like I said, a part of it I used Canva, a free resource, by the way, that you can go on and you can start making stuff right now. Always look at your terms of service. That's what I recommend. But this right here saves me that scratch, baby. It saved that scratch, baby. All right, let me stop playing. So what I'm gonna do right now is I wanted to start on a new project. I don't have the files uploaded and put in there and all of that, so I probably won't start on a new project. But you can see right here where all of it comes from. Now look, check this out. You're probably familiar with this one. This is the second version of my expansion pack overlay. And I'm able to get in here and do this because I research, I read, I go and I find out things, and then I put it to work for my benefit. All right. Now, right now I have a new project that I'm working on. I'm gonna flash it on the screen. I ain't gonna upload it right here because I think it'll take up too much of our time and we'll just be sitting around. But this is the latest project. If you can see it, you probably can't, and I think that's a good thing because then I spoil it a little bit. But that's the latest game that I'm playing, and that's the latest project that is going to be added to my Canva portfolio of projects that I'm doing. And all of this I could go ahead and contract out. I can say, hey, I can sit on live, I can teach, and also I can say to people, hey, if you need this service, I can do it for you. And that is, to me and to everybody that's listening, the last step. Okay, going out and gathering the skill is a non-stop process. Even once you reach that step to where you can say to someone, hey, I'll show you how to do this, or we can do it together, or hey, I'll do it for you and you can pay me, whichever one. The process of gathering the skill is the thing. So if you have anything that you're doing right now that is a specialization, you could be running a broadcast for someone. You could be sitting and all you do is you work the switches for them. Let's see, what else? You can be building bird houses all day and selling them for a company. But what about that P390 saw in the back that you got to use, and the buttons up here and down here, and you know exactly how to line it up for the 3/4 inch cut. Tech savvy. It's not about, when I say tech savvy today, I'm not just talking about electronics. I'm talking about any of those things or specializations that you have or things that you do that take another specialization. That right there, you may be just, like I said, it's just a birdhouse. It's no tech involved in the actual birdhouse. But in the building or manufacturing or fabricating of the parts of the birdhouse, there's a lot of tech involved in that. And being able to operate it is a good thing. Now, you may have, and I'm speaking to somebody specifically on this next one. Look, check this out. You may have that new irrigator in the back or whatever it is for your grass. You see what I'm saying? Now, you know the end result is you want that good grass. I want that good grass, man. Give me a good grass. Let me get a visualization on the screen while I talk. I want some good grass in my yard. Because my grass ain't really been clicking and growing in the places that I need it to grow. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to research what I need to change this. Okay, I need an irrigator. I think I'm saying that right. I need something to irrigate my yard. All right. Now, you got it in the box, ready to go. But how tech savvy are you in the operation of that? You know what you want it to do, and you know the result that it's going to give you if you do it correctly. But what about that oil gasket? What about that spark plug if it run on gas? What about the chain, or what about the handle? What if that pop off? Are you gonna take the time to put it back on, to correct it, to fix it, to do what you have to do to get that good green grass? You see what I'm saying? I think that part of our life we overlook, sometimes only because we can buy a new one, but then it kick us in the butt because I ain't got the money to buy a new one. I bought this one. And if I could just, you see what I'm saying? And what I'm talking about right now, there's a whole community for. Let me spit this gun. I want to throw it away. It's a whole community for that. There's a whole community of people. Send it here. I'll fix it. I have the parts here. Because imagine there's an assembly line of people who are creating it brand new. Boom. And they have access to the parts, but they can only insert these parts when it's brand new. And that's the process of when something stops working and you have to send it back to fix the warranty and do all of that, and then you get it back. That's how that works. But what if your man's Willie Earl and them down the street he bought the same thing and he knows how to fix it? We're gonna send it down there to Willie Earl. Willie Earl gonna put that new part on there. Willie Earl gonna send it back. It's not necessarily how we're all operating right now, but I think it's a worth giving a shot, because a lot of the things that I can give you a metaphorical way to look at what I just said. I just had two people that I know that stream, and because they know I stream, they able to call Dan down there. Dan probably know the screen black Dan. Okay, well, did you check your input output video source? Yeah, I got it, man. I checked it. It's in there. All right. Well, did you check this part of it? Is your frame rates matching? Yeah, man, they're matching. I'm live. It says I'm live. I checked my phone. It says I'm live. Well, did you click the button, the visibility on your output source? Tech savvy. And we solving whole problems. You see what I'm saying? Because the community has someone there for that. All right. Now the doctor, let me give you one more example, and then we can watch like a little video or something. Now the doctor comes into the room and asks you, oh man, I heard all of this was going on with you, man, and what are we gonna do? How what's going on? Tell me. But he's looking at a clipboard filled with all your stats, your whole stat sheet. You see what I'm saying? Because his girl, you know what I'm saying, or his man's, the nurse, already done came and collected that data. You see what I'm saying? They ran the operations for him. Now, does a doctor know how to work the thermometer and get your vitals and, you know, the stethoscope and all of that stuff? Does he know how to do that? Yes, he does. He is tech savvy. But if he had any issues, not necessarily with your vitals, but if he had any issues with something that the nurse uses every single day, tech savvy all day. And I think that what I'm saying to you right now is take it into your hands, hold it, mold it, figure it out, see how you want it to work, and then go out there and do it. All right, let's watch a video. How to be tech savvy. How many minutes my man's got? Okay, I'll give you 9-10 minutes to tell us these tips. That's my guy. All right, let's run it.
Today, I'm going to share 5 tips to help you to become tech savvy. Now, before I get started, if this is your first time watching this series, watched any of my videos, do me a big favor. Click the button down below.
I got you.
Subscribe. And once you do that, you'll be able to stay up to date, stay current, and get all the updates anytime I put out a new video. So the reason why I wanted to share these tips today is because there are a bunch of people out there who are very uncomfortable with technology. You know, they get intimidated and nervous, and they just feel lost anytime that they are presented with a new device, or just they find themselves just having to do something tech related. And at the same time, the tech field is growing, and technology plays such an integral role in just about everything that we do today. You know, our cell phones are practically mini computers. Dan, you know, most of the appliances in our homes now are digital. They're smart. They're connected to the web. You know, the same with their cars. You know, most cars, they have have the touch screens, which are practically computers as well. You know, education, business, shopping, I mean, news, so much of those things, so many of those things are influenced and powered by technology, and you need to have some understanding of technology to be able to stay current today, really stay sharp. So that's why I wanted to share these tips. So if you're uncomfortable with tech right now, if you don't consider yourself to be very tech savvy, hopefully these tips can help you just to get comfortable, just to lower down your guard, and you might feel more inclined just to start learning and to becoming more curious about technology and understanding what's going on out there today, and you know, to see how it can help you. And hey, you might discover that you like technology a lot more than you thought you did. You might even want to consider going in that path, or doing a tech project of some kind. I don't know. Tip number 1: understand that you can't break it. You know, it's a lot harder to break a device than most people think. And I say this because so many times I encounter someone who is not very comfortable with technology, and they're not tech savvy, and their number one thing to say whenever they have an issue, or whenever they're afraid to just go near a particular device or do something tech related, is they say, I don't want to break it. And, you know, it's just so important for you to understand. If that's you, that's your mindset, understand this. Unless you spill water on a computer, on your phone, or whatever that device is, or you violently throw it across the room, or you smash the screen, you are not going to break it. You know, pushing buttons on a menu, pushing buttons on your phone, on your computer, on your keyboard, it's not going to break it. Understand that. And just breathe and just let your guard down. That's the very first tip. Very most important thing to do just to get started to becoming more tech savvy. Number 2, explore. So once you understand that there's a really small chance of you breaking a device by pressing buttons on it. Go through the menus, get lost. Your laptop, do the same thing. Look, see, click all the buttons, go through all the menus and just see where everything is, what everything does. The web, if you're somebody who's not comfortable with using the web, search, go around, look, get familiar with it. And you might be asking here, like, well, what if I throw off a setting on my phone? What if I click the wrong button, I get to the screen, I don't know how to get back? Good question. And that takes me to tip number 3. Google. Anytime you have an issue that's tech related, you've encountered something that you don't know how to get out of, maybe it's a screen, maybe you hit the button, you don't know where to go next, turn to Google, and I guarantee you will find the answer. You will find an article, countless articles that are probably written about that very issue that you are encountering. You will come across online forums where people are discussing that very issue that you're having, and you will be able to get a solution or ideas around how you may be able to get to that solution. And this is probably one of the top tips in all of technology, regardless of your skill level. Like, many people are surprised to know that I don't care how advanced your skills may be, you might be somebody now who's very you're not tech savvy, and you might see people who you consider to be extremely tech savvy, working in the field for a number of years. But I'm going to tell you, like, probably one of the best kept secrets is that everybody turns to Google when they have issues. Like, I've been working in the tech field for over 10 years, and anytime that I come across an issue, it might be an advanced issue, whatever, I turn to Google, and there are always solutions out there. So keep that in mind. Like, you never get too advanced to turn to the web for help. And if you're someone who's just starting out, it's just the same. Like, anytime you have an issue, go to the web, go to Google, search for that issue, and you will find an answer. Guarantee you. Tip number 4. Check out what's going on in the world of technology. Take a look at tech blogs, tech news sites, conferences, talks, podcasts, videos, magazines, anything that's tech related out there. Get your eyes on it, get in front of it, and explore it. I love to go to tech websites, tech blogs, like I love The Verge, Engadget, TechCrunch, TechMeme. There's so many of them out there. But I myself always go and I check out the news, the tech news, just to see what's new, what's going on, what the trends are, what's coming next, who's working on what. And it sparks my interest as well. And again, I've been working in tech for many years. And so if you're just starting out, it would be very, very beneficial for you to do the same as well. I don't care if it's just one day a week, you just take some time off just to go look at tech news sites or tech magazines or videos or podcasts, or maybe a couple times a week, but just do it. Just do it, especially if you want to get comfortable with tech, you want to learn more about it. It's really important to understand what's going on around you, what's coming out next, what's happening next, what people are working on. Very important. Tip number 5. Sharpen your focus and set some goals. So you might be very surprised to know that, right now, you might be uncomfortable with technology, but if you go through these steps, if you just start exploring, you start seeing what's going on out there, what's new, you might be surprised to learn that, hey, you actually like tech more than you think. And you might stumble upon a particular area of technology that's really just pulling at your heartstrings, just really getting your interest, really pulling you. And if that starts to happen, at that point, start to narrow your focus. Start to sharpen your focus on that thing. Start to set some goals to help you to learn more about it and to expand your knowledge on that particular subject. So those are my tips. Those are the 5 tips that I think can help you to become tech savvy. Again, going from the top, tip number 1 is to understand that you can't break it unless you violently throw a device across the room, with water on it, break the screen. It's a very small chance that you're going to break it. So don't be afraid to click the buttons, to explore the menus, and to get lost. Tip number 2, explore. Like I said before, just if it's a phone, if it's a camera, laptop, everything. The web, whatever piece of technology it is that intimidates you, makes you uncomfortable now, explore it. Understand you can't break it in most cases. So just explore. Tap around on the menus, explore the settings, see what you can do. Number 3, Google. So in that exploration of any time you encounter an issue, encounter a problem, you don't know what to do, turn to Google, type that question in, type that issue in, and you are guaranteed to find a solution. Number 4, take a look at the news, the tech news, stay current. Understand the news, the trends, see what's going on around you, see what's coming out next, see what other people are working on. And that just helps just to constantly just keep you in tune and to spark new interests. And number 5, sharpen your focus and set goals. So if you get to that point where you are learning about a particular area of tech that just really gets you going, you really love it, sharpen your focus on that thing, set some goals around it to help guide your learning and help to just build your knowledge. Those are my 5 tips on how you can become tech savvy. Hey, if you like this information, if you like this video, please do me a favor and subscribe.
Oh, I
And
definitely
like it, also
did
share it
already,
as well.
man.
If you have questions, hey.
The one thing that he said that I really like is the part about getting lost. Sometimes I be switching stuff up, be in menus, and then I done switched it. I gotta reset back to default because I done switched something and it's broke now. That's how I figured out a lot of Streamlabs and a lot of the streaming stuff that I did. Just get in there and start running the stream or pushing the buttons. You see what I'm saying? And as I'm pushing the buttons, I'm learning. And as I'm learning, I'm working it. Yeah. So, like I was saying, it's cool. You just have to know that you can't really hurt nothing if you use things a little bit and use it in a way where you can learn how it works, not necessarily just cut it on and use it, Anyway, that was a good video. That he said exactly what I was trying to say. Let me go back and put back on. Let's see what the music sounded like. All right. So we coming up on our last 15 anyway. Music banging. We coming up on our last 15 anyway. So this episode was just for me to get in here and tell y'all, hey, what I'm doing, you could do too. And a lot of what the world is doing, it would be better if just a few more people knew how to do it as well. And if you've never been to college, you ain't never been to university, you ain't never been educated formally, I ain't gonna say that's a bad thing. But if you want to begin to grow in whatever area it is that you already been working in, formally educate yourself somehow, some way. Whether it's, and what I mean by formal is, you sit down, you take everything you know, and you package it. Learn it again. Or you go to a class and take everything that someone else knows and learn it from them. Basically, the formal part is the packaging of it. And the reason why I'm stressing that part is you can't really say that you learned something until you got that little, not learn something. Once you get the formal part, that packaging, it's like a stamp for you. Like for me, I did a lot of music, and the stamp for me to the formal part for me is once I started to learn the business side of it. That was the stamp for me. Other than that, I was just having fun. That it didn't turn to something formal until I started to put the business with it. And then if I really want to go and learn music, I have to go and get the package that someone else has about half notes, high notes, and ABCs and compilations and chord progressions and all of that, because what I'm already doing is it's not packaged. It's no, I could just say this and that. Well, this has been studied, and the word for this is chord progression, and the word for that is half note. It's formal. All right. Now, so as we go from here, we're gonna watch something that's gonna be fun for us. how it's made. We're gonna watch some more of these. No copyright. Let me see if I put that in there. Let me see if I put that in there. It'll give me no copyright stuff. Nah, they going straight to Science Channel, boy. All right. Let's do the creative. Oh, okay. All right. How it's made. We put the Creative Commons on, so. Ooh. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here, Johnny. All right there, Ted. Oh, hold on. Gotta go off full screen. Sorry, y'all.
They're not cast, not machined from bar stock, and not forged with a hammer.
Let's mute the music.
So what is this metal that's
All right, let's run it back.
every hour? Millions of metal parts are born around the world that have never seen the inside of a smelting furnace. They're not cast, not machined from bar stock, and not forged with a hammer. So what is this metal that starts out looking like powder, then goes on to withstand the loads of a jet engine? Powder metallurgy, a quiet technology working behind the scenes of the modern world. In your smartphone, your car, hospitals, and even in space. It saves up to 70% of material, creates shapes impossible for traditional manufacturing, and changes the very logic of metal itself. But there's one moment almost nobody talks about. The process where the metal isn't solid yet and is no longer powder. Stick around to the end, and you'll find out why it's precisely in this phase that the fate of strength, lifespan, and cost of the future part is decided. From the gears in your phone to jet engine parts, from surgical instruments doctors use in operations to car components, powder metallurgy is everywhere. It's a technology few people hear about, but without it, the modern world would look completely different. Let's break down how it works and why it's so awesome. Start at the very beginning. Metal powder. These are specially manufactured particles ranging from 1 to 100 micrometers in size. For comparison, a human hair is about 70 micrometers thick, meaning these particles are so tiny that if you pour them into your palm, they feel like velvet or face powder.
Wow.
Under a microscope, each particle looks like a tiny sphere or an irregular shape with a smooth surface. There are several ways to make this powder. The most popular? Atomizing molten metal. A stream of liquid metal at temperatures around 3000 degrees Fahrenheit gets blasted under enormous pressure by jets of water or gas. The metal instantly shatters into millions of tiny droplets that freeze in midair as they fall. What you get is a fine powder with particles that are almost perfectly spherical. Another method? Electrolysis. Metal deposits from a solution onto electrodes as fine particles, which are then collected and dried. This method produces very pure powder, but it's pricier. Then there's mechanical grinding in ball mills, where metal is simply pounded by heavy balls until it turns into powder. But these particles come out irregular with sharp edges, which isn't always ideal for further processing. Each metal needs its own approach. Iron, stainless steel, copper, aluminum, titanium, tungsten.
That's so cool.
They all become powder differently. You can also mix powders from different metals to create alloys with unique properties that are difficult or impossible to achieve using traditional methods. Now here's where it gets interesting. What do you do with this powder? Step 1. Mixing and prep. You add various substances to the metal powder. Lubricants so the particles slide past each other more easily. Binding agents that hold them together. Sometimes graphite or other additives to improve properties. All of this gets thoroughly mixed in special mixers, so every single particle is coated with the right additives. Next comes pressing. The prepared mixture gets poured into a mold called a die. This die is made from super hard steel and has the exact geometry of the final part.
Word.
Powerful presses squeeze the powder from above and below, creating pressure from 15 to 60 tons per square inch. That's like stacking several elephants on an area the size of your fingernail. Under that pressure, the powder particles compress, deform, and lock together mechanically. The air between them escapes, and the powder transforms into a dense blank that actually
that.
holds its shape. This is called a green compact, or green body, though it has nothing to do with color.
Right.
Just the term. It's still pretty fragile and crumbles easily
Right,
if
it'll
you're
crumble,
not careful,
right.
because the particles are only held together by mechanical interlocking and adhesive additives.
Right. That's just and then they
The
bake
green
them.
compacts get loaded into special furnaces,
Yep.
where they're heated to temperatures ranging from 1600
Yes,
to
sir.
2300 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on the metal. That's below the
Give me
metal's
that.
melting point, but hot enough to get the atoms moving and diffusing between particles. Something remarkable happens inside that furnace. Metal atoms on the particle surfaces start migrating, jumping from one particle to another, filling voids, creating strong metallurgical bonds. The boundaries between individual particles gradually dissolve, and the powder transforms into a solid monolithic material. The part shrinks, becomes denser. It can lose up to 20% of its volume. The entire sintering process takes several hours and happens in a controlled atmosphere. Typically, you use inert gases like nitrogen or argon, or even hydrogen, to prevent the metal from oxidizing at high temperatures. If you allow contact with oxygen, the part will develop an oxide film and lose its strength. After sintering, the part is cooled slowly. Cooling it too fast can create internal stresses and cracks. And here's where the final magic happens. The part acquires its ultimate properties. The metal's microstructure forms, grains grow, internal stresses are relieved. What do you end up with? A part with a density of around 90 to 95% of cast metal.
Right, metal.
That means there are still some pores inside, tiny voids just a few micrometers in size. But this isn't a flaw, and sometimes it's actually an advantage. These pores can hold lubricant, making the part self-lubricating, or absorb vibrations and sound. These parts are often stronger than cast equivalents. Why? Because the microstructure turns out fine-grained and uniform.
Yep.
No large crystals that could be weak spots. No segregation or inconsistencies that happen during casting. The metal is distributed evenly, and impurities, if any, are also distributed perfectly. For some applications, you need maximum density with zero porosity. That's when additional processes come in. Hot isostatic pressing. The part is reheated and compressed with gas under pressure up to 10 tons per square inch from all sides simultaneously. Pores collapse, and density reaches nearly 100%. Or you can use powder forging. The sintered blank is heated and forged, just like regular metal.
That is
You
cool.
end up
So, we're gonna go ahead and round out the show for today. I wanted to watch something like that, because it speaks to everything that I'm saying here. You start in here, and you use the tools that you have around you, or you build the tools that you need to end and have a final product. All right, just pick and poke and touch and open and do everything for any technology. Like do as much as you can, because taking a back seat right now, or taking a back seat to it, will leave you enslaved to the technology. This has been another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. I hope y'all increasing y'all tech savviness out there and not just hearing me talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and get up out of here for today. And I'm going to see y'all again tomorrow on Finding Our Way Wednesday. We'll have something nice to talk about. Let me see if I wrote anything down. I got the motivation tomorrow for y'all women out there. We was listening to that. I didn't write down the time we was at, but I'm pretty sure it'll pop up. All right, y'all. I hope y'all had fun with me here today. Y'all know what I'm about to say as we get on up out of here. I got a song, as a matter of fact, I'm supposed to play. I'm gonna get a copyright strike for it. I'm gonna play it anyway. Maybe I'll let y'all watch the video. Should we watch the video? No, we don't need to watch the video. All right, y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow. Peace. This is DGTA TV. See y'all tomorrow.
in my life.
If you like what you saw here today, make sure you click that like button and subscribe. I'm gonna holla at you tomorrow. This is DGTA TV.
You ain't on that type of time that I like. You ain't been through none of this I've been through up in my life. You ain't been through none of this I've been through up in my life. I done worked so hard to get to define a life. You ain't on that type of time that I like. You ain't been through none of this I've been through up in my life. You ain't been through none of this I've been through up in my life. In my life. In my life, you ain't been through none of this I've been through in my life. In my life, in my life, you ain't been through none of this I've been through in my life. I done worked so hard to get to define a life. You ain't on that type of time that I like. You ain't been through none of this I've been through up in my life. You ain't been through none of this I've been through up in my life. In my Everybody life. Say they hit the block hard. Can't be nothing but a G from the hood if you want you a black card. But that won't me. I was wondering about the stars. I left high school and didn't know my physical form. My mental picture wasn't formed by where my was going. I put the pencil to the pad to study how to reality form. School board type sitting in front of the class. Got good grades, understanding the task. Got older, changed my whole style up a bunch. Things I never did, I started to do them a bunch. Mistakes that I made like I weighed and it's starting to feel like a ton. My life, I only get one, nothing under the sun. Can't be new if it's done. Truth is meant only for some. Learn that I became the one. First person view looking through my eyes at what I become. Win, 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 now I done won. Live, love, laugh, learn what to do. Wisdom served like some soul food. I ain't been through what you've been through, but I've been through what I've been through. So this song just to tell you about my life. My life. You ain't been through none of this I've been through in my life. In my life. In my life, you ain't been through none of this I've been through in my life. I done worked so hard to get to define a life. You ain't on that type of time that I like. You ain't been through none of this I've been through up in my life. You ain't been through none of this I've been through up in my life. I done worked so hard to get to define a life. You ain't on that type of time that I like. You ain't been through none of this I've been through up in my life. You ain't been through none of this I've been through up in my life. In my life. In my life. You ain't been through none of this I've been through in my life. In my life. In my life. You ain't been through none of this I've been through in my life. I done worked so hard to get to define a life. You ain't on that type of time that I like. You ain't been through none of this I've been through up in my life. You ain't been through none of this I've been through up in my life. In my life.